I had a question. Rose almost exactly is asking what I was asking. I want to pop Rose's question in. Rose says, I've had more than 15 years of talent management experience. Due to the current market, I was laid off 2 times and decided to run my own executive search firm. So far, it's been a challenge in this market, and it's also been very humbling. Due to that, I meet with many job seekers, clients, and employees who are reaching out to her for help. What's the best advice to all of us who are trying to keep a positive attitude and continue to help others?
Great question. Rose, thank you for all that you do, because I know that it's difficult sometimes to hear those stories, and they kind of keep going and stay positive and optimistic in this labor market and just in general, especially when you've been personally impacted as well. The first thing I would say is, I remember 2008. I remember 2003. I remember these times when we've had, kind of these labor market contractions that have occurred. And one of the things that I know for sure is that we will rise above it. We will get through it, because that's what we do. We're resilient as a people. And so I would first say, just know that in the past, when we've gone through labor market contractions, we were able to get through it, and we're going to be able to get through it today. Anytime there's job loss or any loss, really, it's an opportunity to relearn, retool, reskill. And so I would encourage people, this is the time where, if there's a certain area that you want to go into, or if you have a certain field that you're very passionate about, this is the time for you to start taking those courses online and tightening up those certifications, getting more skills under your belt as you're pursuing your job search. So this is and there's so many platforms now where there's free skills and free training that's out there. Take advantage of that. Secondly, I think this is where you have to think about those pivots. And so, I would do a skills inventory. So kind of look at, what are all the skills that you have? What are you really, really good at? What are you passionate about? And then see what are other industries or other ways that you can pivot those things that might be in demand right now. So for example, you may have some, amazing event planning or customer service skills. There could be some interesting opportunities around customer account management or technical account management, where you can make those pivots. Or you may have run large projects in one industry. You may look to see, are there opportunities for you to run large projects in another industry, or go into some form of project management. From an executive perspective, there's certain areas where, you're seeing just this large need for strong executives to help lead the way. And so whether it's, look at data centers, and you look at healthcare still, and look at some other places, there is some demand. So you want to do an inventory around your skills, and then see, okay, where are the growth areas in our current economy, and how can I maybe make those pivots into those spaces. And then, there may be, for a number of different reasons, the location that you're in might be a challenge, where you may need to think about relocation, and making some life changes. I can say for me personally, to go from going into the office every day to now, I'm traveling 40%, even though I technically work from home. That was a shift for my family, in terms of how we looked at where mommy was spending her time. And so that's okay though. And I think, being willing to be open and to think outside the box. The other thing I would say is, sometimes we have a certain blinders on in terms of who we think we should be working for, the name or title or brand. And I would tell you, we're in a season right now where the best job opportunity for you may not be exactly the title that you may think. And it's okay to be okay with that. Public service is admirable and it's great work. Yes, you may have to take you could possibly have to take a pay cut, or you may have to see a change in your benefits, etc. But this idea of continuing to build your skills and seeing where you can bring the most value is important. And so, I know school districts and local and county governments that are looking for great people, state governments that are looking for great people, hospital networks that are looking for great people. So you may also have to think outside the box about where those opportunities are, and don't be afraid to do that. And at the end of the day, as long as you have breath in your body, you can continue to learn and grow. And it's important to just be open during this time.
That's great advice. That's great. I'm going to piggyback too on Alex's comments with some tactical things too. And so one is in today's environment, expanding your options, which also means expanding the format of your resume. And so you may look back over your skills inventory and see that I could be really good at 3 or 4 things. Then my translation of that is you likely need 3 or 4 core resumes to highlight those skills and blend them together in a new packaging format to make yourself attractive to the TA team and the hiring managers. And a subset of that, just kind of digging another level deeper tactically, is customizing your resume to the company or government agency or business that you may be applying to. So that way you're speaking their language. We find that every company has their own culture, and a subset of that culture is a language and a rhythm. And it's kind of the way they communicate, what they say, how they say it. They show you that in their job description. And while words like business development and sales are likely to mean the same thing to many people, it may not be for their applicant tracking system. Applicant tracking systems are not created equal, and most of them, as I mentioned earlier, are far from perfect. And so in today's environment of digital resume submission, it's critical that you adjust and adapt the way that you market yourself. And then additionally, I'd say in a world where many of us have been working from home, and if you're out of work today, get out of your house, go to networking events. Pretty much today, in today's world, there's no end to the number of free events that are within 30, 45 minute or an hour drive from your front door. Make it happen. And then on top of that, getting a little another level deeper, is don't look for a job alone. The people that I find who have been displaced, and there are lots of them, I meet people all the time who've been out of work for greater than a year. We are at a crisis point with that happening in America today. And sadly, no one's talking about it. And when no one's talking about it, no one who has the authority and power at scale to do something about it is doing anything about it. Is when you get out and meet people, when you talk about activating your network, and your network are people you know, people who the people you know, and then the people that you don't know, that you are about to meet in the next 10, 30, 45, 60, 90, 180 days. Make sure that all of those people know that you are looking for work. There is no shame in not sharing, this, and that you need this assistance. And so if you want to build momentum and multiplicity, expand the army of people that are telling your story. If you're the only one, you're not in the game. You're still watching the game. And so because I know people who are already activating, who are doing that, I will tell you, it does not make it easy. It doesn't mean that it is a quick fix, but it is one in a series of things that can help accelerate your access to opportunity. And so many jobs that are filled today are filled without them being posted on a job board, without them being public. The numbers that go around range from 30 to 67% of jobs are filled that are never posted. So I encourage you to expand your network, and then expansion meaning not just number, but diversify. And so if you are male, you need more female advocates. If you are female, you need more male advocates. If you are from one ethnic group, you need to expand your diverse equity, or of the diversity of types of people that you're speaking with. If everyone you're speaking to looks exactly like you, your network is too small, and it's not powerful enough yet. And so I leave you with that bombshell of a number of things as we wrap up our show. I'll have a couple more minutes here, and then Alex has to get on her busy day because she's got a new job.